Contamination is the action or state of making or being made impure by polluting or poisoning. This is a huge problem in our world, and one of the main reasons of the pollution of our planet is due to the transport and mainly all the cars that drive on the roads every day.
The definition of scientific is relating to or exhibiting the methods or principles of science. With this said, our main topic would be the electric cars and how the alternative energies will change the world. An electric car is an alternative full automobile that uses electric motors and motor controllers for propulsion, in place of more common propulsion methods such as the internal combustion engine. Depending on the type of vehicle, motion may be provided by wheels or propellers driven by rotary motors, or in the case of truck vehicles, by linear motors. Electric vehicles can include electric cars, electric trains, electric trucks, electric lorries, electric airplanes, electric boats, electric motorcycles and scooters, and electric spacecraft. But in this video we are going to focus on vehicles like cars, and to have a bigger idea or context we are going to travel on time and see how cars have changed.
Here's a question. How much cleaner are battery electric cars compared to gasoline-powered cars? To find out, the Union of Concerned Scientists studied the total global warming emissions of each vehicle throughout every stage of its life, from manufacturing to driving to disposal. And there's a big difference. Both cars start out on the assembly line with similar parts made of raw materials like steel and aluminum. For a gasoline car, this manufacturing and assembling stage generates about 7 tons of emissions. Battery electric cars, meanwhile, are powered by, you guessed it, a large battery. This requires more energy and materials to produce for an 84-mile range battery electric car, bringing its emissions tally up to roughly 8 tons. But what happens when they hit the road? Gas-powered cars produce pollution with every gallon of gas they burn, with even more emissions coming from extracting, refining, and transporting the fuel to gas stations. Electric cars, on the other hand, run on electricity, which can be much cleaner than gasoline, depending on how the electricity is made. 2/3 of Americans live in regions where charging an electric car produces fewer global warming emissions than driving even a 50-mile-per-gallon gasoline car. By the end of their lives, the average gas car will rack up 57 tons of global warming emissions, compared to 28 tons for a battery electric car. Disposing and recycling each car adds less than 1 ton of emissions. And remember that electric car battery? It can be recycled or reused. In the final tally, an 84-mile range battery electric car cuts global warming emissions by more than 50% compared with a similar-sized gas-powered car, making up for the battery's manufacturing emissions within 1 year of driving. And as the country adds more and more renewable sources of electricity, driving electric will get even better. So there you have it, straight from the engineers at the Union of Concerned Scientists. Electric cars, clean and getting cleaner.
Humans have been thinking about different ways to travel for thousands of years. As time has gone on, they have devised increasingly more effective and efficient methods of travel. The automobile made a dramatic change in the way people travel. There is no simple answer to the question of who invented the automobile and when. It has been a work in progress, developing over the past several hundred years. 1478, Leonardo da Vinci invents the self-propelled car. This happens many years before anyone else is even thinking about automobiles. 1769, Nicolas Joseph Carnot builds the first self-propelled road vehicle in France. This vehicle is a tractor for the French army. It has 3 wheels and moves at about 2.5 miles per hour. 1789, American Oliver Evans receives the first U.S. patent for a steam-powered land vehicle.
7. An internal combustion engine, which uses a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen, is invented by François Isaac de Riva in Switzerland. He also designs a car for the engine. the first automobile powered by internal combustion. However, his design turns out to be very unsuccessful. 1832. Robert Anderson invents the first crude electric carriage in Scotland. It is powered by non-rechargeable primary power cells. 1886. In Michigan, Henry Ford built his first automobile. 1997. The first Toyota Prius is sold in Japan.
As we researched and mentioned before, the electric car is the better option for efficiency and eco-friendly transport. Diving in the history of electric cars, the company that have more impacts in this subject is Tesla.
Tesla was founded in 2003 by a group of engineers who wanted to prove that people didn't need to compromise to drive electric, that electric vehicles can be better, quicker, and more fun to drive than gasoline cars. Today, Tesla builds not only all electric vehicles but also infinitely scalable, clean energy generation and storage products. Tesla believes the faster the world stops relying on fossil fuels and moves towards a zero-emission future, the better. To create an entire sustainable energy ecosystem, Tesla also manufactures a unique set of energy solutions: Powerwall, PowerPack, and Solar Roof, enable homeowners, business, and utilities to manage renewable energy generation, storage, and consumption. Supporting Tesla's automotive and energy product is Gigafactory 1, a facility designed to significantly reduce battery cell cost. By bringing cell production in-house, Tesla manufactures batteries at the volumes required to meet production goals while creating thousands of jobs.
We think that Tesla is a very good company that brings down emission in the world. And with that mission, we think that maybe there are often other alternatives to energy, and we make our research about alternative energy, and this is what we found out. More than a dozen alternative fuels are in production or under development for use in alternative fuel vehicles and advanced technology vehicles. Government and private sectors vehicle fleets are primarily users for most of these fuels and vehicles, but individual consumers are increasingly interested in them. Using alternative fuels and advanced vehicles instead of conventional fuels and vehicles helps the world conserve fuel and lower vehicle emissions. Some of these fuels are biodiesel. That is a renewable fuel that can be manufactured from vegetable oils, animal fats, or recycled cooking grease for use in diesel vehicles. Electricity. This can be used to power plug-in electric vehicles, which are increasingly available. Hybrids use electricity to boost efficiency. Ethanol is a widely used renewable fuel made from corn and other plant materials. It's blended with gasoline for use in vehicles. Hydrogen is a potentially emission-free alternative fuel that can be produced from domestic resources for use in fuel cell vehicles. Natural gas is a domestically abundant gaseous fuel that can have significant fuel cost advantages over gasoline and diesel fuel. And the last one is propane. It's readily available gaseous fuel that has been widely used in vehicles throughout the world for decades.
With this project, we realize how daily drive can pollute the world, and at the same time, how there are other options for alternative energies that will not pollute our planet. We can make a change, we make the change. Let's change, bro.